Hey there, friends, and welcome to episode 14 of the Seablock. We're going to expand our little kingdom a little bit further today, and I have a few certain plans in my mind already. So, as we have doubled our energy capacity during the last episode, I felt like it's a good moment to also double my ore output. So, considering the machines here needing a lot of energy, I want to check. So we would roughly need 8 MW. This is only a assumption. We're going to need a little bit more than 8 MW. Check, check. We have way more than 8 MW. Wonderful. So my basic idea was to just duplicate what I have here already, because every single of those machines here feeds into 2 of those crushers, and I checked it out here. Those crushers are producing 12 units of crushed stone per second right now. So this machine would theoretically accept 15 units of crushed stone per second, but first off, we would need 18 basic inserters for that, or with long-handed inserters 13. I really don't know how I would be able to stick more than 11 on this machine, and already that would be quite cumbersome. So I've decided to leave this array as it is. Don't bother with maximization, because honestly there are points where maximization is not smart anymore. I think that this is one of those, especially since there is always some sort of backflow in this in this scenario with here every one of those guys is producing a backflow of slag and crushed stone. It's actually smart to not overly stress yourself into the max efficiency of your machine. Sorry, it's quite hard to find the proper words because this mod is so damn complex, but I think I made my point there. So the other project I had in mind was to finally produce wooden boards, because honestly, handcrafting these fellas is getting on my nerves, and I have everything I need. So I already set up a little plan for us. So we're going to have a real big need of assembling machines, and of course that also is accompanied by a big need of inserters, because machinations like these always need tons of inserters. But first off, 12, 13, 14. This is the first time I ever played Factorio. I keep producing exactly the amount of machines I need. Well, not everywhere, but it happens more often than ever. I like it. Okay. So this would be the assembling machines we need. I already pre-produced the algae farms I need. The other thing I have not prepared yet are the electrolyzers we need. So that was some silly setup there. No, there was the sweet spot. So we want to duplicate this little machine here. So I'll keep that one open. It's also needing 600 units of water, which will ultimately bring the capacity of this offshore pump to its maximum. Wonderful, wonderful. So we're going to need a lot more electrolyzers though. So do I even have any electrolyzers in my pocket yet? I don't think so. So are there any electrolyzers in here? I don't think so either. Sad thing. Okay. So I'm having now a need of 22 electrolyzers, right? We need 24. No, we don't need 24. Wrong. We need what was standing here. Standing here are 20, so I'll need 18. How are my resources there? How far do I get? Let's make that a little bit more efficient here. So I'll need a lot more stone bricks as well, so... And I'm not having the boards. Why do I not have the boards? Because I don't have enough copper. First time I don't have enough copper since a while. Well, not having enough copper is a solvable problem. We're going to pick up a few stacks. And obviously I'll need a few more bricks, but that'll be the least of my problems. So, I'm going to erase those electrolyzers for now, until I have picked up all the stuff I need. So, these algae here will be the foundation for my wood production. So that's what I wanted. I need to hold my thoughts here from time to time, just to make sure that I don't forget what I was up to. Okay, there we go, bricks. We're going to need those to craft more electrolyzers. So, filtration units. I don't use those yet. I'm intrigued. Well, there are so many fancy machines to build in this mod. It's awesome. Okay, so I'll have then 15. We're going to need 5 more, and there comes a lack of bricks. Okay, I expected that to happen. Oh, well, I don't even want to start with the inserters, but well. There are things to be done everywhere. Okay, but mainly I'm lacking iron plates. Not too surprised about that one either. So I think I'm going to relocate the offshore pump here, because I think this is not really the spot where I want her to live anymore. So we're going to stretch the water over here. I'm gonna use copper pipes. Whoops. Alright. So, there's a fresh reserve of that. I already have prepared the field for one of those columns. Now we have to check how much distance do they need. If I want to install more of those chemical furnaces in between, probably as much space as I have here. So it's 2, 4, and 6 spaces between each of those columns. Okay, that's 2, that's 4, that's 6. So that'll be the distance between those buggers. And now we're going to start to go for the room for the actual machine. Let's try if this is enough. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alrighty. So let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wonderful. I like to measure a little bit more exactly here in those situations, because, well, my resources are scarce and I used them quite, silly at the beginning of the series, but, it was fun. I don't regret anything, okay? Foolishness means also fun. And you deserve some fun in your life. It can't be all just hardship. Okay. So I'm really having a lot of resources already available today, especially with ground patches. It's quite relieving. So let's build the flooring for our other facility as well. Since I'm having my LJ here, well, they don't need to live here. I can redirect that into some other direction. I felt like I want to do that facility more like on this side. So that was the idea, and that's what I'm going to do. Because it's about time that I'm going to be able to mass produce the electronics basics. So the crafting of inserters won't be that much of a pain anymore, for example. That's going to be one big upside from this measure here. So I'm just expanding my land here, because I know I'm going to use every inch of those later on. Nothing of this will be wasted, I'm pretty sure. Only thing I'm not sure if I should do this a little bit more broader, but well, we're going to see. Okay, there we go. So let's check out what the resources say. It's really about time that I'm able to produce more iron plates, because honestly, this is one of my biggest needle holes that I have here in this whole facility. Okay, so I've produced all the assembling machines I need. I could ghost the belts I need, so we're going to do that while the other stuff is being produced. There's no other way to do it like that. So we're going to produce a few inserters also, because we need them. And now let's get into the Helmod. The electrolyzer array is something we do later, because we're just building those electrolyzers. And now I'm going to need a lot of those assembling machines. So we're going to produce a lot of paper, which is going to be fed in a lot of wooden board assemblers. So, okay, start will be the 4 algae farms. So let's start with arranging those. So 4 of those are really easy to assemble. I'm going to do a little compact setup like this. 1, 2, and 3. So, do we have... How much water do we use on this array here? We're using 400 of 1,200. Wonderful. So that's really no problem. Ooh, the bigger recipe awaits. So, possibly I'm going to switch into that someday, but not yet. I just decided I'm going to use some of the water we're already having here. There's no need to make it harder than it already is. So, no more pipes available. Didn't I craft a few of those somewhere? Or was that something of the... No, I deleted that one, didn't I? Curses. But we have machines to do our bidding after all. Let's pick up some iron plates. But I'm not going to do iron pipes here. I'm going to do copper pipes, because I just have so many copper plates. I don't use the copper in the time that I produce it, so it's okay. Fine. Now, since that's all set up, we're going to, well, we're going to ghost that. Okay. Let's check it out. So with these green algae, we're going to produce what this all will feed one cellulose fiber assembler. So I guess that guy will be just living right here, because I don't see any reason why we should make it bigger than necessary. So the cellulose fiber recipe made out of green algae. So let's check out how many inserters this fellow wants. It's going to be a need of 3 inserters if we use basic ones, and if we use the long-handed ones, it's going to be still 3. So we're going to need 3 units of belt for this guy. So that's... Oops, I want to ghost that. Okay, so that's that. And we're going to have an output of the fibers And what? We're going to need another assembler which uses the fiber and the alginic acid. Okay, I missed the spot here. Whoops. So we're going to use 3 assemblers in between that craft alginic acid. Okay. Alginic acid, what does it need? The alginic acid needs only brown LJ. So one good side about this whole situation here, I'm going to solve the situation quite quickly. So I need to put these guys under the hood somehow, or is this even possible? No. Not with how my splitters work here. Oh, oh dear. I mean, it's not really an oh dear, but I want to get the ball rolling, you know. But it looks like we're going to need the input-output game here, so we're going to output those guys into here, and sadly it looks like I have to do something like that. I can put that under the hood though. So there's going to be at least room here. That works still, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. I need to check. Sometimes I garble things up too hard. Okay, so this would at least provide me space to arrange some belt along. So let's check it. I don't know how the ratios for these guys are. That's why I'm looking for it. So the good side, this whole thing will only need 1 inserter. Wonderful. Okay. That's just great. So, I'm going to pick up a few provisions now. The copper pipes are done for us. Wonderful. So this machine is done with that stuff. We're going to use some iron gear wheel recipe again. And I'm going to sacrifice my iron plates into this stinger. Because I am up to craft myself some logistic belts here. Okay, that's done. Oh, finally, we're getting closer to the end of the electrolyzer production there. So, I want to produce sand here again. Do I have enough stones for my crafting recipes? Not really. Stone is also very important to keep your furnaces coming and stuff. Okay, so I don't really need that guy that far down there. It's going to be enough if I just load into this assembler from one side. I was looking over the other side there. So we're crafting the alginic acid here. Okay. It's something I could already start here if I had the inserters to do so. But there's another thing I have prepared. We're having some iron gear wheels. And I'm going to tell this machine to do my bidding. We're going to drop some iron gear wheels into there, and some wonderful things will get crafted for us, at least until the iron gear wheels are used up. But at least I'll have some belts I can work with, you know? The little things in life. And also the inserters are being produced, so I'm getting closer. Okay, wonderful. Also, I'm having the most of the necessary electrolyzers crafted. That's wonderful. But I want to stick with my wooden board project now, because I think I don't think it would be smart to start another big project now. Okay. So we're having this here, and I'm going to output there. Is this long enough? Yes! Wonderful. Okay. Oh, I love those unnecessary power poles you just discover somewhere in between. Okay. So, we're producing now alginic acid. Let's get back into the recipe tree. So, now that I have the alginic acid done, I can go into the cellulose pulp factory. I felt like it would be a smart choice to do the cellulose pulp right next to the cellulose fiber, because, I don't know. This is a setup which is meant to produce exactly as much as it needs, so let's check this. This guy outputs with 2 inserters, so we're having this, and he inputs with 3 inserters. So, excuse me, my friends, I'm going to be right back. I'm awaiting something. So this was the first packet bomb in my videos ever. So, there you have it. Sorry for the inconvenience, friends. Okay. So we're now back on track. We would need way more than we're offering to maximize the input of that machine. But maximization was never our goal. So I'm going to get rid of those guys, because I want belts. And I want them now. Alright. So, in the meantime, more inserters, please. Alrighty. I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to stress out this assembler at all. Okay, so out of the alginic acid we can now do paper. Alright, so this stuff will output into 4 assemblers. Alright, so I'm going to output into this direction for sure. Oh, the good question now is, well, I'm producing half the amount for maximum efficiency, so possibly I should just divide everything by 2. That would be smart. So, yeah, I'm going to need 2 inserters for the output then. Okay. Next up will be the paper machines. 4 of them. So let's check out these boys. Oh, it's already open, sorry. Okay, that's a simple 1-1 solution. Wonderful, I like it when that's possible. Okay, And last up will be the wooden board facility, which which will need a whopping amount of 8 assemblers. Okay, so since that's a little bit more, I'm going to squiggle the output of those guys a little bit to ensure a longer chain of assemblers. But if you want to squiggle, you need belts, right? I think it's about time to consider some plate belt for real automated production as well. It's still not really close to that, but it's at least time to think about it, you know? Think about a world where you have automated plate production. Close your eyes and dream of it. Welcome to the Seablock. Okay. I mean, the plate production is already real, but the issue at hand is that I don't have any plates on the belts. I have them in the chest, and that's archaic, to say the least. Okay. So we're going to have it a little bit differently then. And that's that. Finally, we're having wooden boards. Amazing. And even 1 wooden board per second. That's already quite strong. Where are they? Okay. At least once I found something without the search function. Sweet, sweet triumph. Also, I noticed that I need more power poles, but at least these are not really difficult to get. Okay. But overall, I feel like I'm very close to real breakthroughs here, meaning that I am very fond of the progress it means having this kind of automation up and running now. Let alone the amount of energy I have now feels like I want to do a victory roar, you know? Okay, so we're going to need, again, not many inserters. Oh, what a relief. So I guess for now, this all will end in another buffer chest. I mean, the good thing about this mod is I don't care about resources running dry because everything is infinite. It's something I really appreciate about Seablock, honestly. So, I'm well aware that we're missing inserters here. Oh well. Stood like that. Okay. Just cropping that one out because it made the power pole array unnecessarily difficult. There we go. All right, so one thing I didn't take into account was that I'm having more brown balls than I need. So I'm going to set up a splitter here. Of course, I forgot about that one. But not really an issue here. The only issue being not having enough belts to handle that. I'm going to funnel that right back into this array there. Oh, well. So Problem with the belts again. Alright. It's finally going to rain outside here. We had no rain for a long time here, and it started to be a problem for nature and for people as well. But for me being quite allergic to pollen, it's also a relief seeing the rain happening again. Alright, so now we have a cycle of blue ball of brown balls of what? Of acid? Brown balls of acid? Yeah, it's brown balls of acid. Don't laugh about the blue balls though, my friends. They are blue, LJ. Here. We also will produce blue balls. Also red balls. I didn't make it up, it's just as it is. So, ha! Wood! Look at that! We're producing wooden boards! Amazing, isn't it? So, it turns out that this array was perfectly fit. The space was exactly the amount I needed. What a coincidence, really. Don't manage that often. Okay, so next step is going to be more iron and more inserters and more belts. The good thing about this work ahead of us is whoa, no burner inserters. Burner inserters are evil. They are just that's what you do with burner inserters. Okay? I'm just kidding. I just don't like them, and I didn't hit the cancel button quick enough. Alright, so we have a distance between each electrolyzer of 2. So I don't have the ore crushers and everything I need as well set up yet. So we're going to need lots of pipe, and also lots of pipe to ground. So I'm going to stress out my friend the assembler a little bit more. Let's pick up some copper plates. And tell our friend the assembler we need more copper piping. So there we go. It's going to help here. But what's also going to help is to have a surplus of 122 wooden boards in your pocket when you go to craft circuit boards. This makes life so much easier. The wooden board pre-production is taking up so friggin' much time, it's insane. Honestly, it's really... If you look at that, inserters are actually quite quickly built when you're not having to craft wood in your pocket. Okay, so that array is set up. We had a distance of 6 squares in mind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to need that, but also, of course, we can't stop there. We're going to need more than that. So it turns out that my reserves of soil are going to be not enough to complete this whole facility, but that was never my plan. So we're going to need that area here as well, because I will need a liquefier too. I'm also noticing that this water here also... Yeah, well, we're going to need an own offshore pump for this thing, because it wouldn't be enough water. It wouldn't be enough water, because the liquefier is stealing water from this array as well. So just as I have thought, I'm not going to finish the electrolyzer array here today, because if I would produce all that now until the end of the episode, we're going to hit the hour mark at least. So I'm going to stop here and prepare some things, because the biggest amount of preparation necessary is this. I'm going to need a lot of pipe to ground elements to get the ball rolling here, and I really don't want to craft that during the cam time, because it's just taking too long. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to use this little fella here. We're going to give him a buddy. They're going to work as a team now. Just noticed that I can do that. Look at that, we're producing so quickly. He has to live here. So we're going to have a little buddy of his here who's producing the pipe to ground systems for me. Wonderful, isn't it? The power of teamwork. But I'm going to limit that to 1 stack. So this machine will need copper plates. I'm going to feed this with copper plates, and I'm going to get the stuff produced I need. Well, no, we're going to make it like more like that. So, well, tell me what. You see, it's escalating, and it's escalating quickly. But honestly, pipes are something I'm going to need that often. I will do this like that. And I have the copper right now. Okay. So, oh my goodness. This will be a pain to design that differently, but, well, that's a job for the next episode, isn't it? So, friends, feel free to drop me a comment or any form of support you want. If you want to support me and my work a little bit more directly, it would be deeply appreciated, but I don't mind if you don't. The most important part for me is that you enjoy this content. So feel free to come back again next episode, when I will either start with some basic circuit board production, because I can. Well, maybe I'm going to do that really quick, because I can't auto-feed that anyways. And I'm going to dive deeper into the art of metal making, because honestly, what we're having here is in dire need of rearrangement anyways. So this thing here works, and it's quite beautiful how it works, but it's at the limit of its capacity. So possibly I'm going to have to think about a reorganization of that as well. But so just for you guys as a preview of what's about to come. So see you guys next time. Stay healthy and everything, you know. And goodbye.